Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Mean Streets, where we are getting very close to the end of the game. We've got 6 of the 8 key cards, 7 of the 8 passwords. We have Robert Knott's location, the leader of the Law and Order party. So yeah, we're getting pretty close there. But first, let's ask about Harry Rice. Let's pay some money to find out where Harry Rice is. And it's kind of interesting how money works in this game because, like, I guess if you find everything, if you uncover everything, then you're going to have tons of money.
What do you need, Murphy?
Much more than you actually need. Let's find out about Harry Rice.
Make me an offer.
And we will offer 500 smackers. Actually, let's offer 501 so I could even out my
It's a deal.
my account. That way it's not like $1 up. So yeah, if you find everything, search under, move every object, you're going to have way more money than you actually need. Though there are other issues that come into play if you don't move every other object, and you accidentally pick up certain objects without actually noticing. But that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. For now, let us wait for this fax to come in. Actually, let's drive around. Like, I haven't been... Oh, never mind. Here's the fax. Harry Rice lives in Pasadena at nav code 1231. Like, I haven't really done much flying around. But I think I've mentioned before that, like, the flying is nifty. That you can, but it's a very, very empty world. Very, like, I mean, like, I'm not expecting to have like tons of vehicles to be careening around, because I will surely crash into one of them, as you can tell by my amazing steering abilities, and why it's always a lot easier to just navigate 1231, and then just set it on autopilot. Let autopilot do all the work. It's a little bit more boring, but it kind of sort of gets it done faster. It removes that room for error that comes along with, like, okay, so that comes along with turning, it comes along with alignment. It tends to slow down a little bit early. Like, the closer you get to a target, like, it'll eventually reach a point where it's just, like, wants to slow down. But yeah, it's just too convenient to not use. Palm trees line the street where Harry Rice lives, and the neighborhood is filled with small, jerry-built frame cottages. I see an old gabled house near the end of the block that matches the address I've got. I look through the windows and see an unmade bed, food on the kitchen table, though it appears the house has been unoccupied for several months. Looks like Harry Rice suspected he was in trouble and left town in a real hurry. Nothing else to see or do at this location. Alright. That done, I guess let's go to the Airbus station. The locker key was for an Airbus terminal in East Los Angeles. The Airbus is the only way poor people can travel, and the terminal building is big, hot, and dirty. I finally locate rows of lockers and decide to start here. I use the key on about 50 different lockers before I find the one it fits. Inside the locker is a leather wallet. I open the wallet and find a black pass card and the word Coro written on a piece of paper. Oh, Rook. Alright, so, that is black, pass card, and Rook. Which means I literally only have one more... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I literally only have one more pass card to find. Fantastic. Alright, so I was never able to actually access his computer because he didn't actually have his card on him. So let us look at the computer. Also, all of the pass cards have the same color, even though they're also color designated. Black pass card was Rook. Let's see. This experimental uplink station has now been successfully tested. Signals sent are matched to individual code discriminators and are tuned to human brainwaves and neurological frequencies. When these signals are matched, the power of this mechanism is terrifying. The brain implants can be triggered from this satellite transmission station and can stimulate the brain centers for pleasure, pain, rage, or apathy. I can give commands directly to any individual, and through automatic manipulation of the brain centers, these commands will be carried out. This is undoubtedly the most insidious device ever conceived. It will be able to sap the human spirit. I had no idea this machine was going to be used for this purpose. The Law and Order Party has warned me to keep quiet. But the secret of this terrible machine must be revealed. And then he died. Most likely by the hand of Big Jim Slade. Who, it's also important, I already mentioned some of the differences between Big Jim Slade and Overseer and what I expect Big Jim Slade in this game to be. I already mentioned how, like, it seems like he's going to be more of a mobster than he's going to be like a hitman. Like, if you consider even 10 years or so after this game came out, you look at Max Payne, and there's one specific bad guy you meet on early in Max Payne 1, who everybody's like, oh, this guy's a tough guy, he's a real killer. But you meet him, and you fight him, and when you fight him, he's got his pants down. So, like, part of it turns out to be it just kind of upturns your expectations and turns that big, super tough guy into a joke. Where you look at this guy, this Big Jim Slade killer man, everywhere you go where you kind of track his passage, you find tons of cigarette butts and alcohol, but not only that, you go to where he's staying and there's a box with a blow-up doll in it. So it feels like his presence in this game is also a little bit of a joke, whereas in Overseer, like, Big Jim Slade is a threat. He's meant to be menacing. He's meant to be that super tough guy that Tex cannot take on hand to hand. He can't actually, like, hope to just face on one-on-one fight. So that's like an interest. It's interesting to see how much Overseer modified from Mean Streets, but at the same time, it's interesting how well written Mean Streets is as its own. It has its cheesy jokes, it has its campiness, and a lot of that cheese and campiness you can see in Under a Killing Moon, especially the physical humor of Under a Killing Moon. But the writing in this game is actually really good, and that, I wonder, on one hand, I didn't really expect it to be as good as it is. On the other hand, I don't know if I had any expectations for the writing in this game. And now, to introduce myself to Mr. Not himself, I would imagine this is going to end in a gunfight, considering the fact that even, like, hotels are lined with Law and Order goons. Though I wonder if there is a boss in this game. Like, does this game worry itself with having a boss fight? Or do you just fight the same kind of, like, string of goons in order to get to the other side? Also, I'm finding the double tap is useful, especially considering that most of the time it seems as though there can only be 2 bad guys on screen at once. And also only 2 screens of bad guys. Interesting. After a fierce gun battle with several Law and Order goons, I break into Robert Knott's living room. "You're going to answer some questions, Knott." Okay, he says. "Take it easy. I'll cooperate. I'm not anxious to end up like those stiffs out in my front yard." Okay. Wow. You know, some art is truly timeless. Much like this guy here. This 80s man. Alright. Let's ask him about MTC. MTC came to our LA office. Nav code 5037. Oh, I already have that code. A year ago, and proposed a joint venture on a project to rid the city of freaks. It sounded like a good plan. We were to handle security problems. Interesting how I don't have to worry about threatening this guy. Carl Linsky? Linsky started to get wise to what was going on between MTC and Law and Order. I was ordered to have him bumped off, so we planted a microchip on him and ordered Big Jim to make sure he jumped off the bridge. So it was murder. Well, yeah, of course. Cal Davis got too nosy. Big Jim had to get physical with him. What about, Bosworth Clark? I was ordered to have Clark liquidated. If you want to know who gives me my orders, ask me about Gideon Enterprises. Oh, why, thank you for actually specifying what question I need to ask you about. Tom Griffith, that little weasel isn't smart enough to get out of a paper bag. I bet he told you I was behind this mind control device. Well, I'm not Mr. Big. I take orders just like he does. Ask me about Miss Gideon Enterprises, and I'll tell you who Mr. Big really is. Alright. Gideon Enterprises. Suddenly, like a clap of thunder, a shot rings out and a bullet catches Knott in the right temple. He's dead before he hits the floor. I quickly draw my gun and cautiously work my way outside and look around. All I see are the taillights of a speeder cruising out of sight. Obviously, Robert Knott was a key player, but not the man running the show. Whoever's behind Project Overlord sure didn't want Knott spilling his guts about what he knew. Alright. You know, I was actually expecting him to say something about Gideon Enterprises. And not just immediately get shot. Also, why is the sky so red? I guess it presents a very specific, like, image of the world. And that's something that shows up later on in the Tex Murphy games, in that, like, there's just the intense amount of radiation. Oh, hello. A concerned citizen. If you're looking for Big Jim Slade, you'll find him at navcode 4921. Alright. Come alone or there's no meeting. Well, who am I going to take with me? And, of course, another gunfight, because we can't just meet with Big Jim Slade. Yeah, and because, like, these sequences never really seem to ramp up in difficulty. They're always just, 2 screens. Although I suppose these guys crouch more often. So there's that. But it's still very much the same, and your health always regenerates, so... Big Jim Slade stands in front of me with 6 of my slugs in him. He's bleeding heavily, but he's still got a smirk on his face. I notice he's smoking a Camel cigarette. I walk to him slowly, keeping my gun aimed at his heart. Looking at him makes me wonder when I last received a rabies vaccination. Okay, so he doesn't necessarily have that kind of mobster look. He looks very much like hobo thug assassin. Alright, let us start talking to him about MTC. MTC really stands for Management Through Control. The Management Training Center is just a front for a project called Overlord. Big Jim Slade. Thanks for asking, but right now I'm not doing very well. I've lost a large quantity of blood through several holes in my body, and I really think I'm about to die. He's taking his death pretty well, though, considering. Carl Linsky. Yeah, Linsky, I got a call from Robert Knott at Law & Order to make sure he got to the bridge and took his dive. They planted a small device on him, and he turned into a robot. That's how all the jobs are done. I get a call, I do the job, and the money is transferred to my account. No names, no traces. It's real clean. Also, here's the thing. If they implanted him with something, wouldn't the chip still be there? If the chip had to be removed, wouldn't there be scar tissue from the chip itself? Or not scar tissue because it would be removed after the death, but at the very least, some... oh yeah, there was the cut that they detected. But, like, from a recent surgery. But the surgery wouldn't have been on file unless they were able to, like, add it to the file. But I guess I wasn't able to actually ask about the surgery. Cal Davis. He struggled a bit when I forced the cyanide down his throat. When the job was finished, I got the money wired in. No questions asked. Money. Sorry, can't help you there. I already took his money, so yeah, that's, to be fair, that's true. Bosworth Clark. That was more fun. He struggled and fought, a real challenge. Those types of executions give me real satisfaction. Tom Griffith. Slade is fading fast. He tries to continue that arrogant smirk, but there's fear in his eyes. He drops to one knee and in a last act of defiance he shouts a few obscenities at me and falls to the ground. I guarantee you this world is a better place without scum like Slade around, but I could have used a little more information before he nodded off the big sleep. Yeah, I suppose so, although I've got the location for the Law and Order building, and I should be fine from there. And now for the Law and Order location that Big Jim Slade happened to have on hand. Or was it, no, I got it from somewhere else. I got it from Robert Knott, but I also got it from somebody else, and I don't remember where at the moment. It escapes me. Oh, another gunfight. It's a good thing it's a good thing I haven't really struggled for bullets, because that would be really annoying. Like if I had to... like if I wasn't able to progress because I didn't have bullets in order to survive these sections. Or if I had to worry about my health, and I needed bandages to recover my health in between gunfights. That would probably be pretty tiresome too. I feel I've got to work fast at the Law and Order Party offices. More security people will probably be showing up real soon. I work my way quickly through some administrative office. No information of any value there. I find a door that's marked off-limits official clearance only. I enter the room, setting off the alarm. Of course there's an alarm. I've got just 10 minutes to shut it off before the police arrive. A 4-drawer filing cabinet, but only one. It's locked and I don't have the key. Alright, I'm going to see if I could figure this out without the help of The walkthrough, hopefully I managed to solve that in time. A bookcase filled with various texts on violence and bloodshed. This book is entitled Expert's Guide to Spite, Malice, and Revenge. You open the book and read about a number of incredibly rude and vicious party tricks, including the crazy glue on the toilet seat trick that Law and Order party members are invited to try on people they dislike. A small metal trash can, various bits of garbage. Okay, nothing in there. L-shaped workstation. We got a printer, Optimax printer. Prints 40 pages per minute. Is that good? That's pretty good, actually. Ooh. Interdepartment letter, as October 5th will be the day that we officially control the world. May be so bold as to propose that this day be the first official holiday of the new order. Have a nice day, Robert Knott. It is too bad he is dead. High definition monitor. Nope. Looks like a standard storage cabinet. Corporate minutes from last meeting. Officers are Robert Knott, President. Basil Mallory, Vice President, Security Chief. Damn it. I don't have time to write down these names. How about this? I'm going to leave the memo there, and then I'm going to come back. Control panel with switch. A small switch. Makes a small clicking sound near the closet in the corner of the room. Huh. What does that mean? Built-in storage cabinet. An expensive lavender coat. Oh, okay. A pad of paper is in the inside pocket. The numbers 37, 16, and 36. I don't think I actually need to memorize those. I think just the acquisition of the pad of paper is good enough. A pair of Florsheim shoes. Small shelf for storing clothing articles. A hat, size 7.5. It has long, stringy white hairs hanging off of it. Oh. A small button behind the shelf. The plate underneath says alarm reset. Alrighty then. I am in business. I can go back to that memo, read it, write down the names. Side drawer. It's locked. I still don't have the key. A portrait of a man in a Law and Order uniform. Ooh, and there's the safe. A large black metal safe. And we got cash, $5,000 in cash in 150s and 20s. And we got a pass card, a gray Nexus pass card. He did say his pass card was stolen, which means I now have all 8 pass cards. I just need to find the mainframe. Standard work desk. Let's open up that drawer. I don't have the key. I already checked there anyway. All right. Let's head back to the desk, read the memo that was on the floor. Or should I say that was at the workstation? Because now I'm not pressed for time. So we've got, let's see, Robert Knott as president, Basil Mallory. Do I have that name written anywhere? I've got Blaze Wiener, of course. Very important name. Basil Mallory. And Vice President and Security in Chief. Melba Widebush. Definitely need to emphasize spelling that correctly. And then Stanford DeMille. Okay, now I can pick that up. A Sharp 160 multi-fax machine. Okay, hope. Panasonic Model 3416 answering machine. This is Slade. Clark's been taken care of.
Clark's been taken care of.
Oh. Thank you, answering machine, for doing the work for me. Large laminated table. We got hate literature detailing plans to move against the mutants. Damn it, I wanted to press move. Large industrial paper shredder. Let's see, what's in the toolbox? Sears Craftsman toolbox. I got some plans. The plans are for some remodeling work at the secret MTC location. A handwritten note says, "See security chief for navigation code to secret computer facility." Who was the security chief? Was that Basil Mallory? I think so. So yeah, I guess I have to find him. Sears Craftsman Turbo Power Drill. And large metal ball-peen hammer. On the handle are the words Mutant Masher. Ugh. That is for a specific individual. A specific racist individual. Racist against mutants. Okay, I've already gone through there. Oh, have I? Oh, no, I haven't. Ammunition. 100 rounds. All right. A standard work desk. It's a drawer. It's locked. And then we've already taken care of the picture. So I guess I've already been there. Alright, let's see if I missed anything important. Otherwise, I'm not going to worry about reloading and trying just to acquire money. Oh, I did forget to move. This game really, really wants you to try everything before you hit get. Like, that get button is like the worst thing you can do. Seems like the worst thing you can do. I didn't try to move the answering machine. Let's see. And here is a memo I couldn't read. Please send Big Jim Slade $5,000 for the liquidation of Professor Clark. Does it also open this drawer? It is locked, and I still don't have the key. Alright, let's get out of here. See if we can track down Basil Mallory and find out that secret MTC location. Alright, let's ask Lee about Basil Mallory. Enhance.
Yes, Murphy?
Basil Mallory.
What's it worth?
It is worth $432.
Look for my fax.
Oh, hello. What have we got from Lee? Talk to Sonny Fletcher. He may know where to find Basil Mallory. All right. Where was Sonny Fletcher? 5170. Alright, let's see what Sonny Fletcher has got. Yeesh. Oh my, that is a far cry from Overseer's awesome variation of Sonny Fletcher. Let's ask him about himself. I don't think I ever did. I'm a good PI, and I've learned when it's wise to drop a case. It's something you should learn if you plan to live a long life. Basil Mallory. No way, I've got nothing to say. What if I gave you $1,039? Thanks, buddy. I'll tell you what I know. Yeah, I know where you can find him. He's at nav code 2713. Alright, let's have a talk to this Basil Mallory. No. At least I still got 355 bullets. Oh, I am really surprised I actually didn't get hit by that one spray of lead. Interesting hit detection, then. Yeah, interesting hit detection for techs. Yeah, always fire 2 bullets, because there's always some second thug coming along. After fighting my way through Basil Mallory's bodyguards, I carefully enter the house. As I walk through the kitchen, I see dirty dishes in the sink and on the table. I open a closet door and find Mallory hiding out. The only way this guy could be useful to society is as a bad example. Mallory, I sneer. You're going to answer some questions. He looks like Charlie Sheen's stunt double. And also he has a cigarette, for some reason. Tell me about Law and Order. Stick it, fish face. Ah, look at him, he's so angry. I tell him if he doesn't tell me what he knows, I'll take him outside and make him wish he'd never been born. I slam my fist into his soft, flabby stomach and he buckles over, and then I catch his chin with a solid haymaker that sends him staggering back against the wall. Okay, that's enough. I'll talk. The Law and Order Party now acts as security for MTC. We will become the most powerful political force on the planet. Alright, let's find out about MTC. No way they'd find out how you got your information, and I had to wind up floating in the bay. I tell him if he doesn't tell me what he knows, I'll take him outside and make him wish he'd never been born. I slam my fist into his soft stomach and buckle, blah, 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 staggering back against the wall. Okay, that's enough. I'll talk. MTC has a secret laboratory located on Alcatraz. Okay. Also, a consistent theme for the game. That's one of the things that is carried on to Overseer. I think at the time when Overseer was new, I found it strange that it ended on Alcatraz Island, but I guess considering its inspiration, that makes a lot of sense. We are developing a mind control device which will help us rule the world. All right, let's put a stop to that. That's 4550, and head over to Alcatraz. Alright, let's see what it... Save our game first. It's probably something very important. And let's see what's going on in Alcatraz. As I step out of my speeder, 2 Law and Order thugs jump out of the shadows. One of them slams the butt of his weapon against my head and turns out my lights. When the lights come back on, they're bright and unfocused, and my head feels like it was used as a football. I try to make out the image standing in front of me, but it's impossible. All I can see is a silhouette. Sit him down over there, I hear a voice say. And, welcome, Mr. Murphy. You were expected. I'm afraid I've been playing a game of chess with you. I knew someone would try to stop us from purifying this sick society, and I needed the passcards and passwords to make sure that didn't happen. I ordered Knot and Slay to kill the scientists when their work on Project Overlord was done and gather up the passcards. They didn't have much luck finding them. I used you as a pawn to locate the cards for me. Now that I have them, nothing can stop Overlord from being implemented. We've planted microchips in key officials throughout business and government, and they're under our control. They, in turn, will control the population, will rid society of all undesirables and purify the human race, and I'll control mankind's destiny. I'm sure you're wondering who I am, but I find it safer to remain anonymous. Goodbye, Mr. Murphy. You're a worthy opponent, but I'm afraid this is checkmate. Still, I won't kill you just yet. Perhaps there could be a place for such a resourceful individual in my new order. Under my control, of course. I'll store you in a safe place until I decide what to do with you, and that's always the biggest mistake that villains make. The guards walk me down a long, dark corridor and lock me in an old, musty boiler room. This must have provided all the heating on Alcatraz when it was a prison 75 years ago. To my surprise, the boiler is still in operation. I had better find a way out of here or I'll end up like the rest of those walking dead. I'm not anxious to have a microchip buried in my head. That rhymed. Alright, do I have a time limit? What am I even looking at? We got sprinkler head. Automatic sprinkler head is connected to the piping high above your head. Miscellaneous crates. Several short 3-inch stainless steel pipe sections. 12 3-inch stainless steel flanges and bolts. All right. A small metal key. Can we move the key? Okay. Let's grab the key. A small work table. Can we move the table? No. Can we open the table? Furnace safety instructions. Use remote control panel to open furnace door when in operation. Never leave furnace door open for extended periods. This constitutes a serious fire hazard. So remote panel to open furnace door. I'm going to leave that there so it's easily accessible because you can't access your inventory while in this mode. An old apple core. It tastes as good as it looks. So it tastes terrible. A cast iron grate riveted to the floor. And it's securely fastened down. Using the power drill, you remove the rivets that hold the grate to the floor. Removing the grate reveals a 6-inch hole too small to get through. It's already open. Huh. I don't know how that helps me. A control panel with a switch. You flip the switch and the furnace door opens, sending the ambient temperature up 30 degrees. It continues to increase and noxious fumes are released as well. Did I just die? Okay, I just died. Let's try that again, except not flip that switch. Let's see, the switch is to open the door from the inside. It's been disconnected, and it won't work. The door is metal and is 3 inches thick. And the air conditioning vent with Phillips head screwdrivers holding it in place. Use your Phillips screwdriver to remove the vent. All right. The shaft is about 24 inches at the vent opening, but quickly narrows to 12 inches, too small to crawl through. Alright. Let's get back to where I was before. Okay, so we've got this panel, a sliding panel. And there's a box, a small metal box. Can we move the box? Can we open the box? And a gas mask. An atmospheric purification mask. Alright. We'll definitely want that, because the room does fill with noxious fumes. A monitoring system measuring the efficiency of heating system. It's automatic. All right. I don't have the right tools to open that vent with slot screws holding it in place. So a heavy cast iron furnace. I can't open it. I obviously can't move it. Temperature gauge. Wonder if what I can actually use. The switch says open, close. You open the blast furnace from the close, and the intense heat burns you to a crisp. Great. Let's try that again. Okay, so the thing, so apparently with this room, it is just a big cluster of red herrings that not only lead you to dead ends, they literally lead you to dead ends. The only thing you need is the gas mask. And then you could press the control panel. Sorry, the switch on the control panel. Oh, hello. Nope. Damn it. And then I guess a robot enters? I suppose I wouldn't have expected a robot to just show up. But I wonder if there's a run button that I just haven't used this entire time. Move it with the man with cursors, press enter, you cannot move. Okay, let's try that again. Now that I've backed out of that system a little bit faster, I should be okay. Yeah, it looks like, nope, damn it. I clicked enter to interact with the door, while I should have just gone through the door. It seems that, that's another thing, that Overseer kind of more doubled down on, is the presence of robots in this, Alcatraz area. Am I fast enough, or did I pause a little bit too much? Yeah, I made it. After escaping from the boiler room, I overpower the guard and take his weapon. If I'm going to have any chance of stopping these maniacs, I must find the main computer room. Cautiously, I work my way down a long corridor which opens into a dimly lit cell block. At the far end, I see a light streaming from a partially open door. By the way, wouldn't they have taken away my key cards? Did they leave them on me? More gunfight. There we go. Oh. It's interesting you don't really have to make it all the way to the right side of that first screen. You just kind of have to get towards the other side. And then it's good enough. There we go, and This is it, the computer room. A converted cell block filled with electronic equipment. In the center of the room is the control panel and a large overhead quartz display screen. The pass cards taken from me are lying on the table. That's convenient. That's very convenient. Looks like Mr. Big wanted them checked for authenticity. I stick the pass cards in my pocket and approach the control panel. In the top right corner is a red button labeled Destruct. It can't be this easy. I remove the clear plastic cover and hesitate for a moment. You'll probably regret this, I say to myself as I press the button. The pad under my feet begins to vibrate and 4 laser cannons drop down from the ceiling and point at my head. My first reaction is to run like hell, but I'm sure if I move, I'm a dead man. You have 60 seconds to enter authorization cards and passwords. Begin. Spacebar to enter red pass card. Password is stalemate. Enter green pass card. Green password is pawn. Yellow pass card is queen. Gray pass card is king. Black pass card is rook. Orange pass card is checkmate. Murphy, this is J. St. Gideon. Don't destroy my life's work. So it was, well, I know it was Gideon. Let's make a deal. Name your price, and I'll give you anything. Stop, Murphy. Don't be a fool. I'll make you my partner. That is an awkward place to put dialogue, considering you're supposed to pay attention to the top of the screen, where the text is on the bottom of the screen. Kablooey! Text saves world. Diabolical plot exposed. I believe in Overseer, nobody actually knows what you did. The feds grabbed Gideon as he tried to flee the country. They have enough on him to put him away for a few hundred years. There was a big parade in my honor, and President Fox invited me to the White House as his special guest. I even got to see a private screening of Back to the Future 17. But I couldn't stop thinking of Sylvia. Solving the case had helped her collect on the $1 million insurance policy, but she was still hurt and upset at my initial suspicions. I decided to fly back and try to talk to her. Oh my. Is that the pinup version? I knew I was in trouble when she answered the door. If looks could kill, I'd be splattered all over the pavement. Her voice was trembling. How could you think for a moment that I'd murder my own father, she said. Wait. Did I have those suspicions? Well, I guess I did look up the insurance policy, and I asked her about the insurance policy. Okay, I'm sorry, I pleaded. It was the insurance that threw me off. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you? Yes, she said with a faint smile. You can take me for a ride. Also, this looks like a completely different woman, but...
Oh, Sylvia.
Lower.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. The end! Oh. And that was Mean Streets. You know, I feel that it would be unfair for my part to try to give this a score or a rating, or because, like, I don't know, I feel for myself individually like I'm playing this game far too late. Like, there was a time in which I should have played this game, and that time was back in the day when I had I remember my dad had a PC in his office, And the computer had a 3.5-inch floppy disk drive. It had a 5... Was it a 5 1/4 or 5.5? It's been so long. Disk drive. It ran on DOS. It didn't even have Windows. And on that computer, I played this older game, Hugo and the Jungle of Doom, which was like one of those really old classic adventure games where like it even had a point system. And it's hard to tell what a point system really matters for most adventure games. The Pandora Directive uses the point system to kind of judge what kind of ending you get. But like Hugo didn't really have that. You just solved puzzle, got points. And once you finished the game, you got all the points. But I think in that time frame, Mean Streets would have stood out more for me. Especially the time involvement that's required to really kind of play this game, especially play this game without a walkthrough. There's a lot of trial and error involved. There's a lot of travel time. There's a lot of figuring out what questions to ask every individual. And that takes a little bit of time. And I feel that as a modern, maybe not as a modern gamer, but as an adult, my patience is for this sort of thing has gotten a lot thinner. Alternatively, there's been a lot of quality of life improvements in subsequent sequels that going backwards, it's like you lose that quality of life. You lose having a notepad that tells you what possible questions you can ask an individual. And there's also that too, and that's one of the main reasons why I necessarily wouldn't really give this a rating for anything. Although I do have to say I did enjoy the writing in the game. I did enjoy the storyline. I think it did a pretty good job in regards to building that mystery. Though Overseer would definitely be superior in regards to character development, especially character development of its side characters. Characters like Sonny Fletcher, characters like Big Jim Slade, characters like Gideon. But that character development is also boosted by the fact that you have these amazing actors here to step in and provide that depiction of those characters. Whereas with this game, you have just kind of like the face model, and then Sonny looks horrible. And you only kind of meet Big Jim Slade once, and it's not really that dramatic of a showdown. Like, you just do your regular level, and you're done. And I feel as the game has continued, the emphasis has been more on the story than it has been on, like, adding driving elements or action elements. Which has definitely benefited the franchise. What else can I say? The only real problem I have, other than some of the trial and error elements, where it's like places where text can just get killed easily, which is problematic because the only time you can save is in the car, which means there are parts where you just have to kind of like reload in order to get back to. Is there are certain sequences where it seems as though you kind of can screw yourself. Like, I wonder what would have really happened if I went to the person's apartment. Yeah, if I went to the place that Lola Lovetoy was staying, and then acquired the key, or should I say, picked up the item that was under the key and didn't get the bus key, would I still have acquired the gray pass card, or would I have gotten a bad ending? Either way, and now I'm glad that at the very least I've played through Mean Streets. It is one of the 2 Tex Murphy games I've never played. I'm probably not going to jump directly into Martian Memorandum, but one day, I'm sure I'll load that up. In the meantime, so long, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.